Hi guys and welcome. So glad that you could be here today. So I was going through some messages that I love and enjoy to write and things like that. I want to ask you a question today. What losses have you known in your life to be the hardest, right? And I'm not talking about death. I'm not talking about, losses maybe of children. If you want to include that, you can also include that in the description, right? So as I'm going through everything, right, I'm thinking, okay, what losses have I lost? Whether it's family or separation from something, right? So once you put your thoughts together and you figure out what benefits have you gotten from that, right? I had one of my friends who I asked her that same question today, and she said, "Well, I would say she did at first. She didn't tell me. She was like, well, I didn't get nothing from that." I was like, "We always get something from our losses, right?" And she said, "Well, my children's left, and now I'm dealing with this situation over here, and I feel now all alone." I was like, "Well, the divine wants you to be alone because when your mind is quiet, you have time to think, right? You have time to think about your blessings. You have time to think about what is your next step. And when you have chaos around you, you cannot think. So this is why you're alone. But we always have to remind ourselves, right, that sometimes the divine wants us to trim our branches, right? Because when you don't trim your branches, you don't grow, right? What happens when you have too many branches out and the branches become rotted? They affect the tree, right? They affect the tree. But when you start trimming the things that you don't need in your life no more, right? Now you become stronger and you start to heal and you start being fruitful. And I feel like that's how we should all look at life, right? There's always a purpose for everything, right? There's always a purpose for everything. And when the divine gets involved, sometimes it causes chaos in our life so we can change a few things, right? Sometimes people are like, oh, so we lost our marriage. Now I'm alone and what can I do? Well, maybe the divine doesn't want you in that marriage, right? Maybe he doesn't want you in that marriage because he has something better for you. But at the same time, you have to grow within yourself. You have to start striving. You have to start learning. You have to start doing things for yourself so then you can have something so you can learn from those situations and you can move on to something even better. And when you start cutting those branches, guess what? Your energy and your ability to think will become more clear in your life. Tell me what you think.